Hello and welcome to News at 10 on Rajya Sabha TV. Well, Mamata Banerjee will take oath as West Bengal Chief Minister today. All the top political leaders will be attending. That will be our big story. Well, in our top international focus, US Republican candidate Donald Trump has reached magic number to clinch the GOP nomination. That is the big story. Let us begin with the headlines. Mamata Banerjee to take oath as the Chief Minister of West Bengal for the second time. 17 new faces to be part of her 41-member cabinet. Supreme Court notice to center on national compensation policy for rape survivors seeks response at the earliest. Massive rally in Uttar Pradesh's Saharanpur highlights beginning of celebrations of 2 years of Narendra Modi government. Opposition slams the NDA, says they are fooling people. Five killed and over 100 injured in a fire at a chemical factory in Maharashtra's Thane district. Probe begins into why it happened. And Donald Trump now has the delegates needed to secure the Republican presidential nomination. Official nomination to take place at Republican convention in July. Our top story, Trinamool Congress Supremo Mamata Banerjee will today take oath as the Chief Minister of West Bengal for the second time, along with 41 party MLAs as ministers. Now, the swearing-in ceremony is to be held on Red Road. Mamata Banerjee had earlier met State Governor Ken Tripathi and submitted a list of MLAs who will take oath along with her. Among the 41 MLAs will be 17 new faces. The portfolios, however, are yet to be decided. Now, there are 3 women among the ministers. Finance Minister Arun Jaitley, Union Minister Babul Supriyo, the Industry Minister of Bangladesh, the Prime Minister of Bhutan, Farooq Abdullah, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal and UP Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav are expected to attend the ceremony. In the other big story, now concerned over the absence of a national compensation policy that provides adequate relief to rape survivors, the Supreme Court on Thursday asked the centre to formulate a policy in this regard at the earliest. The Apex Court pointed out the different policies followed by different states and the absence of a national plan on compensation for the rape victims. The court also told the centre that just the setting up of the Nirbhaya Fund was not enough and it was just lip service. The court also issued notices to the centre, all the states as well as union territories, seeking their response on the effective implementation of Section 357A of the CRPC and the status of victim compensation schemes, along with a number of victims of rape who have been compensated. Well, Prime Minister Narendra Modi launched the second anniversary celebrations of the NDA government with a mega rally in Uttar Pradesh's Saharanpur and a series of other events across districts of the state. Now, celebrations aside, the strategy of the party is, of course, to concentrate its energy on Uttar Pradesh, which goes to polls next year. Now, winning is crucial for the BJP to strengthen its hold in Rajya Sabha.
Full-page ads in newspapers promising to transform India, and a message from the Prime Minister that the country is indeed changing. That's how the second anniversary celebrations of the Narendra Modi government began on Thursday. A mega rally to highlight the government's achievements in 2 years was held at Saharanpur in UP, addressed by the Prime Minister himself, wherein he announced increasing the retirement age of government doctors to 65.
उत्तर प्रदेश की धरती से देशवासियों के लिए घोषणा करना चाहता हूं कि आज डॉक्टरों की जो सरकारी अस्पतालों में है उनकी रिटायरमेंट की उम्र कहीं 60 साल है, कहीं 62 साल है। इसी सप्ताह हमारी सरकार की कैबिनेट निर्णय करेगी और उसके बाद अब डॉक्टरों की रिटायर होने की एज 60-62 के बजाय राज्य हो या भारत सरकार हो, सबके लिए 65 उम्र कर दी जाएगी। 60
A number of cabinet ministers also addressed rallies and participated in various programs across different parts of UP. The party is now specifically targeting UP with an eye on the state polls next year. A number of programs have also been planned from the 27th of May to June 15, covering as many as 33 cities across the country. Ministers have been directed to go and inform people about the achievements and schemes of the government. A mega show to celebrate 2 years of the NDA government is also being organized at India Gate on Saturday. Opposition parties, however, are amused neither by the government's plans nor by the Prime Minister's new announcements.
The government is just thriving on advertisements. This 2 years of NDA era was of social tension and fear. All sections of society, be youth, farmers, industrialists, traders, women, OBC, SC, ST or minorities, are either disenchanted with the government or are living in a fear psychosis. Economy, total, complete failure. This government has totally failed to revive the economy.
Many Congress governments already have a retirement age of 62 years for doctors. That is not enough. We need to produce more doctors in India.
पीएमओ के ऑफिसर ट्रेवल एजेंट बन गए। माननीय मोदी जी को इस देश में भेजा जा रहा है, उस देश में भेजा जा रहा है। किस उम्मीद के साथ भेजा जा रहा है कि विदेशों के साथ माननीय मोदी जी के भारतवर्ष के संबंध सुधरेंगे। अरे जो शांत बैठा रहता था नेपाल, वो भी आपको आंख दिखाता है। चाइना की तो छोड़ दीजिए, वो आपके घर में हर दूसरे तीसरे दिन घुसा आता है।
Despite the criticism, Prime Minister Modi believes that his government has brought in the much required changes in the country, a message he wants to spread through this video released on his second year in office, detailing every flagship scheme and policy of his government. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
News from Maharashtra, where 5 persons died and more than 100 were injured as a chemical factory caught fire following an explosion. Now, the incident in Maharashtra Industrial Development Corporation area in Thane district occurred at around 11:45 a.m. on Thursday in a plant owned by Acharya Chemicals Group, which manufactures industrial chemicals. The police and the fire department have initiated a probe into the cause of the explosion. The indications are that the explosion could be a result of a chemical reaction gone wrong. Officials said that 4 of the deceased have been identified, while the family of the 5th victim is being, in fact, the identity is being looked into. The intensity of the blast was such that the windows as far as 1 kilometer away were shattered.
प्रशासन को हमने कहा है कि इतने बड़े मैग्नीट्यूड का ये विस्फोट हुआ है, तो इसकी पूरी जांच की जाए। वो जांच भी की जाएगी, उसके कारण क्या है, उसको जिम्मेदार कौन है, इसकी भी जांच की जाएगी। और जितने जख्मी हैं उन सभी को राज्य सरकार की ओर से सारी मेडिकल एड दी जाएगी।
Now, Haryana Chief Minister Manohar Lal Khattar has said that his government will not wait till 21st of July to initiate legal action against the Punjab and Haryana High Court decision of staying reservation against Jats and 5 other communities. Khattar said that he would make all possible efforts to get the stay vacated. The Chief Minister spoke about his government's commitment to the welfare of all sections of society, reminding that a statutory status to Haryana's Backward Classes Commission was given after 24 years of the orders of the Supreme Court. He added that the issue would not have been in court if the previous Congress government had legally given reservation benefits to these castes. The Haryana High Court had on Thursday put an interim stay on the reservations for Jats in government jobs and educational institutes. And now our continuing focus on the drought crisis in the country. Now, once known as the textile city of India, Bhilwara in Rajasthan is facing severe water crisis these days. 4 lakh people in the district are dependent on a train, which brings around 50 lakh litres of water every day. Now, the administration has imposed a water emergency in the district. Arvind Kumar Singh reports.
120 hours without water, and this is what residents in Bhilwara are forced to do. This old lady has been forced to risk getting inside a water tank to fetch water. There are water tanks in front of almost every home here, but most of them have been locked. This is a city that 2 decades ago had no difficulty getting water even for those living on the 5th floor. Now the condition is such that at several places water arrives once in 5 days for a few minutes.
पानी की ऐसी मुसीबत होती है, बहुत ज्यादा होती है। पानी की इधर उधर से भटकते फिरते, लाइट भी नहीं आती इतनी, और बहुत ज्यादा होती है पानी की दिक्कत। तो
यहाँ पानी का प्रेशर बहुत ही लो आता है। डायरेक्ट तो क्या मोटर तो लगती नहीं है, नीचे उतर के भरना पड़ता है, फिर भी 2-3 घड़े इससे ज्यादा पानी नहीं मिलता।
The water requirement in Bhilwara is 520 lakh litres per day. But with the major dam drying up, people are being forced to make other arrangements. Water is being brought through pipeline from Kankrolia and through tankers as well. The railways is already providing 25 lakh litres of water. From May 19, 2 trains have been bringing 50 lakh litres of water morning and evening. But all these steps are insufficient to meet the needs of the people here. The administration has already announced a water emergency here. Swimming pools and fountains have been shut, but officials say that the situation is dire.
यहाँ भिलवाड़ा का मुख्य जल स्रोत मेजा डैम था, जो नवंबर महीने में ही सूख गया। एक यहाँ से 45 किलोमीटर दूर ककरौलिया घाटी के अंदर अंडरग्राउंड है, उससे हम लोग 125 से 30 लाख लीटर ले पा रहे हैं। मेजा में जो कि सिर्फ 40 लाख लीटर ही आ पा रहा है, इस हिसाब से क्राइसिस है।
The urban population in Bhilwara is about 4 lakh. Despite spending close to 10 crore rupees on transporting water through trains, people are able to get water only once in 5 to 6 days. Several families have left Bhilwara due to the acute water shortage.
पानी इतना महंगा और इतना आ रहा है, तो हमारे जितने भी स्विमिंग पूल है हमने बंद करवाए हैं, फव्वारे हमने बंद करवाए हैं, गाड़ियां जो हम पाइप से धोते हैं उस पर हमने बैन लगाया है, और अगर किसी प्रकार कोई जल का दुरुपयोग अगर पाया जाता है तो हम उसका कनेक्शन बंद करने की बात कर रहे हैं।
The residents of Vastranagari in Bhilwara are facing the most acute water shortage in the entire state of Rajasthan. As a result, a majority of the district has been now categorized as a dark zone. This happens with 80% or more groundwater being exhausted. Arvind Kumar Singh's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, time to take a very short break. Up next, all the international news and sports news. Stay with us.
Unless you propagate basic research in India, this country will not catch up with the rest of the world. If you want to come back, then come back as an Indian. If you want to be a foreigner in India, you will never succeed. If we have to import a technology from America, please import it 100%. But work on developing your own technologies.
Watch Eureka with Professor Khurshid Iqbal Andrabi, Vice Chancellor, Kashmir University, only on Rajya Sabha TV.
Hello, I am Ishan Russell.
I'm Tracy Shilchi and you're watching News Tonight.
Together with the team of our
dedicated professionals from across various fields.
This is Shyam Sundar, Vishal Dahiya, Akhilesh Suman,
Frank Pereira from Beijing, China.
Kriti Mishra for Rajya Sabha Television.
We bring to you
the news that matters here on Rajya Sabha TV.
Welcome back. Now, leaders of the Group of 7 or G7 met for the second day today. They discussed climate change and energy. Now, French President François Hollande brought forth and followed up initiatives set in the Paris Climate Agreement last year. The G7 leaders discussed several issues such as climate, energy, prosperity in Asia, the empowerment of women, health, Brexit and Africa. Meanwhile, US President Barack Obama is scheduled to visit Hiroshima today. Obama will be the first sitting US leader to travel to the site of the world's first nuclear attack in 1945. He'll be accompanied by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. On Wednesday, the G7 leaders largely focused their energies on global economy as the summit got underway. The host, Japan, called upon his counterparts to act to steer the world away from another global economic crisis.
As the G7 summit kicks off in Japan, Prime Minister Shinzo Abe welcomed leaders of member countries
at the Uje Bridge of the Ise Grand Shrine, the holiest site of Shinto religion. The leaders then gathered together and planted trees at the compound. Later, the group began their first full working session with talks on trade. During the trade session, G7 leaders voiced concern about emerging economies. Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe made a pointed comparison to the 2008 global financial crisis. He also warned G7 counterparts about fears of an economic crisis on the scale of Lehman Brothers.
世界経済についてしっかりとした議論を行い、我々は大きな危機に、大きなリスクに直面をしている。世界経済は大きなリスクに直面をしているという認識については一致することができたわけであります。
Die Welt ein gewisses stabiles Wachstum, aber es gibt Schwächen, insbesondere bei den Schwellenländern. Und es gibt eine ganze Reihe von Risiken. Deshalb ist auch aus der japanischen Sicht, dem haben wir zugestimmt, ist sehr wichtig, eine gemeinsame ökonomische Initiative hier zu verabschieden.
The group of 7 are also likely to issue a counter-extremism action plan by the end of the two-day leaders summit.
テロおよび暴力的過激主義対策に関しては G7 として具体的な行動を求めた行動計画を発表したいと思います。
North Korea also figured in the talks with US President Barack Obama, saying the country's nuclear ambitions pose a serious medium-term threat.
North Korea is a big worry for all of us. They're not at the point right now where they can effectively hit US targets, but each time that they test, even if those tests fail, they learn something.
Ahead of the US President Barack Obama's visit to atomic-bombed city of Hiroshima on Friday, dozens of protesters rallied in front of the city's iconic A-bomb dome.
謝罪しないのは当然ですよ。謝罪しないって言ったら、彼らは核兵器を使用するっていうことを言えなくなっちゃう。できなくなっちゃうから、謝罪しませんって言って、使える余地を残しておくというのが彼らがやろうとしていることだと思います。
While most of the residents in Hiroshima welcomed Obama's upcoming visit, hoping the conciliatory move will help them heal.
今のところ私の意見とは違うなって。皆さんお疲れ様です。私は私のそばも行ってるんですけども、オバマさんが広島に来ることについてはすごく嬉しいことだと思っているので。
US President Barack Obama will be the first sitting US leader to travel to the site of the world's first nuclear attack in 1945. He will be accompanied by Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe on the visit. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
News from the US now. Well, the Republican presidential hopeful Donald Trump has reached the number of delegates needed to secure the party's presidential nomination. Now, this after 15 unbound delegates from North Dakota pledged support to him. However, an official nomination will take place only at the Republican convention in the month of July, even though a handful of states, including California and New Jersey, will still hold the final primaries, that is on 7th of June.
I am officially running for President of the United States, and we are going to make our country great again.
On 16th of June last year, when millionaire Donald Trump announced his candidacy for US president, his unlikely presidential campaign was met with widespread ridicule, with no one imagining he'd come this far. Today, Trump has the delegates to reach the GOP presidential nomination. While the businessman with no political experience has had the nomination locked down for weeks, he has now reached the threshold of 1,237 delegates with the help of previously uncommitted delegates who now support his candidacy.
I'm so honored to be in North Dakota and having hit that. I'm so honored by these people. They had such great sense.
However, despite having the required number of delegates, the nomination is not official until the balloons drop at the Republican convention in July. After a formal nomination, Trump will face former US Secretary of State Hillary Clinton or Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders, who are vying for the Democrat nomination. While Trump and Sanders are exploring staging a debate in California that would sideline Hillary Clinton, the former Secretary of State was seen doing damage control after an internal government watchdog said that her use of a private email server while she was the Secretary of State broke rules.
I think voters are going to be looking at the full picture of what I have to offer, my life and my service, and the full threat that Donald Trump offers our country. And I have confidence that they're going to be making the right decision.
Even as Trump and his campaign celebrate, they have challenges ahead. He is up against historically high unfavorability ratings and must broaden his appeal and base heading into November. Trump must still win over key GOP leaders, including House Speaker Paul Ryan. And while he has begun to build out a national finance team, many major party donors and financiers still remain opposed to his bid. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV. Meanwhile, dozens are feared dead in a second migrant tragedy in as many days in the Mediterranean on Thursday. Now, in the latest disaster, more than 80 migrants were pulled to safety after their vessel overturned. Between 20 to 30 more, though, are reported to have perished. The deaths come a day after a boat carrying more than 560 migrants capsized on Wednesday off Libya's coast. 5 survivors were rescued and brought to Italy, but the death toll from the sinking could end up being as high as 100. Well, amid warm weather and calm seas, more people are attempting the perilous journey in rickety boats from Libya to Italy. More than 7,000 have been rescued this week alone. And news from Roland Garros, and world number 1 Novak Djokovic and 9-time champion Rafael Nadal raked up personal Grand Slam milestones on Thursday as they moved into the third round of the French Open. And in the women's draw, Serena Williams, the 3-time winner and defending champion, destroyed Brazil's Tiliana Pereira in just 66 minutes to move into the third round.
Top seed Novak Djokovic, looking for a French Open title to complete a career Grand Slam, claimed his 50th win at the tournament, seeing off Belgian qualifier Steve Darcis 7-5, 6-3, 6-4. It was the Serb's third win in as many career meetings with Darcis, a player nicknamed Shark, responsible for Rafael Nadal's ouster from Wimbledon in 2013. But it was far from a smooth display from the world number 1 player, who committed 42 unforced errors.
I thought I started great, 3-love, 1540, couple of break-ins that I missed for opportunity to go double break, and I felt great. And then all of a sudden, with some unforced errors that allowed him to come back to the match. So I would say that all 3 sets, when I was a break up, I allowed Steve to come back to those sets and fight for.
Meanwhile, 9-time champion Rafael Nadal became just the 8th man to record 200 Grand Slam match wins as he saw off Argentina's world number 99, Facundo Bagnis, 6-3, 6-0, 6-3. The world number 5 dropped the first 2 games but then won 18 of the next 22 to ease into a last 32 clash against compatriot Marcel Granollers.
I even didn't know that. So for me, the most important thing is the victory in the second round, more than the 200 victories. No, that's just all the another number, and that's it. But it's obvious that be able to win in straight sets again is a good news, and just looking forward to play the next match.
Later in the day, 6th seed Jo-Wilfried Tsonga rallied from 2 sets down against Marcos Baghdatis to reach the third round of the French Open for the 8th consecutive year. Tsonga prevailed 6-7, 3-6, 6-3, 6-2, 6-2 to complete a 100 Grand Slam match win. In the women's draw, defending champion Serena Williams picked up a quick, clean victory to reach the third round. Williams needed only 66 minutes to beat 81st ranked Tiliana Pereira of Brazil 6-2, 6-1. It was a routine victory for the world number 1 that keeps her on course to win a 22nd Grand Slam title and equal the modern-day record of 22 held by Steffi Graf.
I think, one of the main qualities is probably patience, especially with someone like me. You have to be really patient because I'm very intense on the court because I want to do so well in practice. So, just have to be patient with that.
Serbian Ana Ivanovic also reached the third round of the French Open for the 10th time, beating Japan's Kuru Minara 7-5, 6-1. Ivanovic, who won the title at Roland Garros in 2008, is seeded 14th this year. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
All right, Serena Williams there targeting Steffi Graf in the French Open. Well, with this, we come to the end of this news bulletin. Thanks for watching.